Ted Cruz. It may rattle his conservative Republican base only a day after he announced his presidential candidacy. Cruz spoke, with CNN chief congressional correspondent Dana Bash, who's joining us now. Dana, tell us what he had to say.
Well, you know, Ted Cruz obviously has been one of the leaders, if not the biggest, on the forefront of trying to repeal Obamacare. And he's always had the luxury of making that argument in a pure way because he personally and his family, they haven't gotten their health care through Obamacare because they've gotten it through his wife's company. But now that he's running for president, she's no longer working there and things have changed. Listen to this.
You and your family have been getting your health insurance through your wife's job. Her company has been Goldman Sachs. She has now left that to help you with your campaign. So where are you getting your health insurance now?
So she's taking an unpaid leave of absence from her job, and so we're transitioning. We'll be getting new health insurance, and we'll presumably do it through my job in the Senate. And so we'll be on the federal exchange like millions of others on the federal exchange.
But, Senator, for right now, the irony is just kind of unbelievable that you have made your name fighting against Obamacare, and you now are going to sign up to get your insurance through that very process, Obamacare.
Listen, it was the case before Obamacare that federal employees could get health insurance through their jobs. That's not a new development. So yes, I'll get my insurance through my job like millions of other Americans. That's not a shocking...
Will you take a subsidy from your job, which is the federal government?
We will follow the text of the law. I strongly oppose the exemption that President Obama illegally put in place for members of Congress because Harry Reid and the Senate Democrats didn't want to be under the same rules as the American people.
That means you are going to take a government subsidy?
I believe we should follow the text of the law.
The law that you want to repeal?
Yes, no, I believe we should follow the text of every law, even laws I disagree with.
Now, Wolf, let me explain that question about the government subsidy. What I was asking about is the fact that many Republicans have tried to kind of get around the fact that they did have to sign up for Obamacare and kind of try to stay politically pure by saying, you know what, I'm going to do this because I have to, but I'm not going to take the subsidy, which for you and me would be like the employer contribution since their employer is the federal government. He didn't answer there, but later his spokeswoman told me that if he does in fact do Obamacare, he would not take that contribution.
How unusual, Dana, is it for a Republican who obviously strongly opposes Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act as it's known, to actually sign up for it?
It's a great question, and it's certainly part of the pushback that we've been getting from the Cruz campaign, saying, you know, why should he be held to a double standard? Because the answer to your question is certainly there are lots of Republicans who have had to sign up for their own personal health insurance through Obamacare. As I said, some of them decide not to take the employer contribution because they don't want to take the money from the federal government, but a lot of them have had to do that. However, having said that, others have, as he had done before, gone through their spouse's work. Others have gone just on their own outside of the exchange into the individual market. And the point that the Cruz campaign makes is that that is just almost prohibitive now because they insist that the Obamacare system has ruined the individual market. But it is not unusual, but given Ted Cruz and how he made his name and the fact that he announced for president on purpose on the 5th anniversary of Obamacare, is certainly noteworthy.
So basically what I hear is that he had really no other choice since his wife was taking a leave of absence from Goldman Sachs where she worked. They were on her health insurance program through Goldman Sachs. She's no longer there. The only option he really had was to go on the federal government exchange program. If he would have gone on private health insurance, it would have been prohibitively expensive, right?
There are other options. And in fact, I should tell you that the Cruz campaign is again pushing back, saying to note that he said, presumably we will go on Obamacare. Now, as sort of this story has exploded, suggesting maybe he will find an alternative. They could, I mean, look, when people leave their jobs, they go on COBRA. There are potentially other ways to do it. But of course, he has a wife and 2 small girls, and they're trying to figure out exactly how to do it. But yes, the answer is there is a way to get insurance without going through Obamacare. It is possible.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.